This is a Birmingham story by Ryan Sinclair. I was gifted this, but I vowed to be honest with my reviews, so I'm going to be honest. This poetry book shows one storyline presented through lots of different poems. Most poetry books will have themed chapters and then each poem's a little bit different, but this poetry book follows the same 3 characters throughout the whole book, examining their different emotions. It is the story of 3 young men who were childhood friends and they're now trying to rekindle their friendship later in life. Each of them have taken a very different path along the way, but they're now coming back together, reconnecting and sharing their experiences. Now, as I'm reading this book, I just feel like it's meant to be read aloud. So if you are used to more classic type poetry with complex rhyming structures or selective meters, then this is probably going to feel a little bit unusual for you because the tone is much more colloquial, much more conversational and easy to read. I definitely felt more comfortable reading it with more of a spoken word type rhythm. If you've ever been to a spoken word night, you'll know what I mean. It's more of a performance type poetry, I felt. Sinclair does actually mention that he does quite a lot of performance poetry in the Birmingham Poetry Jam scene. I've also seen on some of his Instagram that he does a lot of spoken word, and that really comes through in this book. It was refreshing to see a book that addresses male anxiety, depression and emotions. Often when women are experiencing something, whether that be heartbreak, miscarriage or struggling or whatever it may be, we're so used to having this female community, whether that be friends or family. We come together, we tend to gather, we tend to hold, we tend to talk and support and care. Not always, but often you'll find that most women have another female that they can really go and depend on and they can cry on their shoulder. Often I find men suffer in silence. Men don't have the space to be able to share in the same way that women do. I liked the fact that this book actually showed 3 men overcoming that stigma, sharing their struggles to actually see that they are suffering in similar ways. And sometimes just knowing that you're not alone can go a long way. There are pictures in this book. I like that one. Quite random. They're not really what I would have envisioned for the book, and I don't really think that they stay completely in line with the serious topics. In a way, it makes the book seem more accessible for younger readers. And as the figures aren't human, I guess you can't attach a particular race or stereotype or identity, so I guess it makes it more relatable to a wider audience. If I am going to have books pictured in them, I would prefer that they were more realistic depictions. I definitely don't think that Kyle looks like that. Overall, I really enjoyed this story. The topics that the men discussed in this were so relatable. The book is down to earth, it's realistic, it's real, there's no pretense. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So thanks Ryan, and I can't wait to see what you bring out next because this seems like it's just the beginning.